They're one of the most powerful and destructive natural phenomena on Earth. And they're getting stronger.
We have a Category 5 hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico.
Absolute destruction.
This is probably one of the top 12 of all storms ever seen on this planet.
Climate change is rewiring extreme storms, making them more powerful and more damaging than ever before.
I apologize. This is just horrific.
If you like, a superstorm, an absolutely huge cyclone.
Theoretical limits are being rewritten as ocean temperatures break all records.
There's a small change in the average and a tremendous change in the extremes.
So just how bad could deadly superstorms get?
We are actually in uncharted territory.
Hurricane, typhoon, cyclone. What you call it probably depends on where you live. But all these words mean the same thing: a tropical cyclone.
Tropical cyclones are enormous storms that revolve and they feed off warm tropical seawater.
In practice, that means this.
The amount of energy produced in a nuclear bomb is just the tiniest fraction of the amount of energy that's liberated every hour by a strong hurricane.
And as the seas get warmer, it means more energy for tropical cyclones to feed off.
That heat can be ultimately converted to kinetic energy, which is the spinning winds that you get in these storms.
In theory, there is a maximum limit to how fast a cyclone's wind speed can get. It's not absolute, but it's generally reckoned to be around 200 miles per hour. Worryingly though, there are signs that speed limit could increase.
And as those oceans warm, this potential intensity that storms can reach increases. If you think about people in sports using steroids, what they're doing is they're raising their limit. And so eventually you'll start to see records being broken. And that's the kind of thing that we're seeing with tropical cyclone.
The intensities are increasing. We've seen that happening in the Western North Pacific Basin as well as in the Philippines. A significant increase in the number of the extreme ones or the super typhoons.
As the world warms, we're likely to see tropical cyclones with previously unseen wind speeds. But wind isn't the most dangerous thing about these storms. Water is. And that threat is set to rise as well.
One of the most serious concerns from this hurricane, life-threatening storm surge.
Some of the worst cyclones in history, the biggest fatalities from storm surges. Storm surges are going to get worse, there's no doubt about it.
Stronger winds drive higher storm surges, and rising sea levels make the problem worse because it means a higher water level in the first place. 2012's Hurricane Sandy offers a stark lesson of the havoc a storm can reach with higher sea levels. By the time it hit New York, it wasn't even a hurricane, but it was big, so its winds were pushing on a larger area of ocean. And crucially, it made landfall at one of the highest tides of the month.
Hurricane Sandy had already caused devastation through a large part of the Caribbean, and then it surged through and caused colossal damage because obviously it was a very heavily built up area with a lot of infrastructure, and it caused deaths as well.
Storm surges on their own are bad enough, but rain can be more dangerous still, and that too is getting worse.
As the atmosphere gets warmer, the air can hold more water vapor. And so these tropical cyclones have more water vapor in them in which to condense into liquid water or rain.
In 2017, Houston, Texas found itself on the sharp end of this effect when Hurricane Harvey hovered over the city for 3 days. It dropped a record-breaking 127 billion tons of water on the city, causing catastrophic flooding. As global warming increases, events like this are far more likely. For all the devastation Harvey caused, forecasters saw it coming. But when tropical cyclones suddenly get stronger with little warning, it can be even more disastrous.
It just dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours. I apologize. This is just horrific.
2024's Hurricane Milton shocked everyone when it suddenly intensified to a Category 5 hurricane before hitting the American state of Florida. And it's part of a growing trend.
Super Typhoon Odette here in the Philippines. It rapidly intensified from a Category 1 to a Category 5 equivalent typhoon in just a matter of less than 24 hours.
2 years later, over the Philippine and South China Seas, Super Typhoon Doksuri suddenly strengthened twice, before becoming the costliest typhoon on record when it smashed into China.
One of the big problems in recent years has been the very, very rapid increase in strength of hurricanes. Forecasters have trouble predicting that, giving out warnings and getting people to move out the way, and it's growing worse.
The element of surprise is actually what's killing us.
Storms might be getting more violent and unpredictable, but that's not the only problem. When and where they appear and intensify are also changing. It could be the most dangerous threat of all. For a tropical cyclone to be produced, the ocean surface needs to be warm enough, at least 26.5 degrees Celsius. As the planet gets hotter, seas are reaching this threshold sooner and staying above it for longer. Temperature isn't the only factor in producing a cyclone, but in recent years, this warming has meant strong hurricanes far earlier in the season over the Atlantic.
Hurricanes don't have calendars. A hurricane that is in an environment that is an average August environment, but it's experiencing it in July or June even, it's going to behave as if it's August.
But while a strong hurricane appearing early in the season can be a worry to those used to them, being hit by a strong tropical cyclone when you're less adapted could be devastating.
Tropical cyclones are reaching their peak intensities further away from the equator. Areas such as Japan and even China, these are essentially also the areas in which we have very high population density, so meaning more people will be at risk.
If this trend continues, new areas could find themselves bearing the brunt of superstorms.
Oh my god!
To deal with this new threat, people need to adapt.
Local government units needs to better plan and also establish systems, early warning systems and communication lines to essentially make sure that people are informed at the right time.
And there are other things people can do too. Building housing better designed to withstand strong winds, putting homes on stilts to take the danger out of flooding, digging culverts, all can dramatically reduce the risk of injury or death from a tropical cyclone.
Adaptation can also occur in terms of human behavior. We have many people all over the world that don't seem hesitant to move closer to the coasts.
More people might be putting themselves in the path of potentially stronger tropical cyclones, but there is hope. Thanks to improved forecasting, extreme storms are actually killing fewer people, even as they get more intense.
The early warning systems have already improved. In the Philippines, for example, the local government units are actually aiming for zero casualty events. So we need to essentially strengthen our efforts in anticipation of what we are expecting in the future, which is essentially even more stronger storms and wetter storms.